Hello, 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 Crafty Chris here with you again for another Scrap Your Scrap Thursday night. Tonight we're going to be working on our October calendar page, and I'm thinking about using up some of my scraps that I had cut into squares today, making a sort of a quilt-like calendar page with every square having a color. So the whole thing is going to be very quilty. I have no idea how it's going to turn out, but I'm hoping it is going to look great. I've pulled out most of the little squares that I had that were 1.5 inch or 1.5 inch square, because that's what the size is of these squares. And I have some extras here if I need them that are larger that I'll have to cut down. I also have coordinated previously what I want to see at the top and what I want to see on the sides to kind of unify those colors. What's going on here we're going to play with as we pull out squares, but I wanted the top and the frame to actually be something that is consistent color-wise, so you have sort of everything encapsulated so it doesn't go absolutely crazy. So the first thing I'm going to do is start on the top, because I know that from this edge down is going to be the I'm going to need cutting. So these are just no, they're about the same size as what I'm going to have in the squares here, but I'm going to start it from the top and work my way down. And I have a little extra strip of color here in case I need to fill in the gap. So I'm actually going to glue these down. In that case, it will be a tighter seal. If I can get my gun working here, give me just a second. All right. Okay, so this is a new precision glue tool, and if you have arthritis, you're going to love this tool. It's on a little mount here, and it hardly takes any pressure at all to put glue on the back of things, where I used to have to squish and use my hands and get them arthritis hurting. That's a word. I don't really have to do that with this glue gun, so that I'll put that in the comments. Now I've got one down, but I just realized I really should sort of lay out, that's a darker one, that we've kind of got there. So maybe we'll put him here, put him here. I think I better play this out just a little bit more, because I don't want things to be matchy-matchy. I mean, it's matching enough in the color, right? I might run into trouble, but that's okay. We're sort of figuring that out as we go. And I'm just kind of trying to separate pattern and color as much as I can. Oh, there's a good one. Got that one there. Okay, so I think we're going to put that one there. This one's going to come down there. This one can go in there. It's kind of like that one. This one can go there. I'm going to shift this one into here. That one can go there. Okay, so I'm running into a bit of problem, but I think there's enough difference in color. Even if the pattern is the same, the color kind of is different. All right, so this is kind of how we're going to lay it out. I feel better now that I've done that. So let's take this one. And we're going to make sure that they line up with the edge of the paper. There we go. And you can see what I'm doing here. So I am going to just go off screen for a few minutes and get this all glued down. All right, so I have completed the whole top, and maybe it's a good time for me to ask for some feedback from you in the comment section underneath the video. If you could let me know if you prefer to watch the process in fast forward, or prefer me to just show you how it begins and then cut out and jump back in when it's all done. I'm not really sure which way I'm going to go with my videos from now on, whether it benefits you to see me glue every single one of these down, but in fast motion, or whether just gluing 3 down, showing you what the pattern is, and then just coming back when it's done. So if you could give me some feedback, that would be awesome. The next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to oh, look at that. It's actually too small a strip. So we have to find a strip that is going to work in that spot. Okay, we have a piece that is going to fit in there. Now it is slightly bigger, but I am going to mark off on both sides using pencil. Hang on. Just how wide I need to have it. So on the inside of my pen lines is where I need to have it cut. All right. Get the big trimmer out. Making sure we find our cuts. This is a small piece of paper, so we're going to have to line it up. Maybe starting at the top. And I don't want to see any of the ink on my piece. And that should, for all intents and purposes, fit. Let's see if I cut that well. That's, I'm going to turn that around this way. Whoop. I just don't like the way it cut there. Oh well. This to me looks like a good fit, and I have a bit to trim off there, so that works for me. Again, just going to use my glue tool to draw a squiggly line down, making sure I have dots in the corners, just randomly. There we go. Turn it over. Oops, got the wrong end there. Line it up with the edge. Alrighty, there we go. And I'm just going to trim off this excess here with nice long scissors. There we go. All right, so the top is done. Now I'm going to do the sides. And what I'm going to do with the sides is I think I can cut them in half and use them at least down to here, or maybe right off the page. And then the other ones I can fit in here. So there's only 3 here. Where's my pile? Oh, right. I maybe only need 3 if I'm cutting them in half. Get my smaller cutter and cut them at 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to put a few of them in at one time. Save myself some work. There we go. There we go. So now we have these to stick on the side, and I think they might be a little bigger than I need in some places, so I'll trim off whatever's too big. And now I'm just going to go plop, plop. Should probably do it on here. Get some in the corners and line them up with the edge. There we go. Looks pretty good. So I'm just going to try to avoid too much matchy-matchy. Oh no, you don't want to do that. Oh, that's funny. And I just wanted to get into the corners. Always want a little tiny dot in those corners to really hold it down. And I actually want the pattern to be different each time. But the colors, of course, are similar, so they're going to blend together but not look too patchy. All right, so I'm going to finish this off and I'll be back in a moment. All right, so I have the one side done and I'm liking how it looks. I might augment that patchiness by adding lines. We'll see what happens when the whole thing is done. And now I'm going to do that same thing to this side all the way down. And hopefully I will have enough. So again, we're going to do the cutting in half routine. So just get them all in. And I'm not paying attention to what direction the pattern goes or anything. I'm just cutting them as is. There we go. And those 3 should get me across the other side. And again, as I showed you earlier, gluing into the corners first and then just a little scribbly line. Lining up to the inside. And there we go. So I will continue doing this and be back in a moment. Okay, so now I have both my sides done. I'm going to just do a trim to make sure that they're straight across the bottom. And I need to do a small trim along the side. Ooh. It's just a little bit extra. There we go. Alright, that's one side done. Oops. Let's get all that stuff out of the way. And we'll trim the other side now. There we go. All right, and we're all ready. I'm not going to put the bottom in yet. I'm going to see what I have left in my squares. So now I'm going to lay my squares out. I have this one that I think I might just put in the center because I only have one of those. And I kind of like the idea of that being a center point. So I'm going to put one of these there. And what I try to do is if there's a texture or something on it, I'll put it one way in one piece and then alternate the texture in a different place. I want to get a pattern in there, so let's maybe put that guy there. He's going to need a bit of trimming. I'm going to put him here and maybe there. Love the pattern, but don't want two oranges together. So I'm going to play with this. There's some purple. And it doesn't have to go in the same location. Dots are together, not liking that too much. So let's split that. Then we have red dots. And that'll need a bit of a trim. Red squares. Oh, and I have some of my pieces of, what do you call it? Gel printing that I'm going to throw in here too. Maybe there. Not sure I'm sold on that one, but we'll see what happens. And then we have some yellow. And then we have some pretty sunflowers. I just love sunflowers. Kind of going to make them so that they're in the right orientation. There we go. Some little blue flowers. A little bit more of my, this one is spray. And now let's see what I want to do. I want to put on some dark purple because I want to show you how you can highlight that. So the dark purple has to be cut down to 1.5 inches. So I'm doing both of them off screen because I don't want to mess up what I've got organized there. I'll be right there in a moment. So 1.5 is what I'm headed for. Cutting them both at the same time. There we go. So I think I'll put a purple in there. And purple down here. Got green dots already. What else do I have in here? I don't have any red. Ooh, but I like this orange. But I have lots of orange. I don't have any red, so I'm going to cut down a couple of red at 1.5 inches. This isn't very straight. I did not cut straight when I was cutting these. Okay. And the idea is to have these butt up against each other because I'm writing. I don't want them to overlap. It'll make writing difficult. So I want to make sure that I'm butting them up against each other. There we go. Pattern going that way, pattern going that way. I could do hot pink. Let's do hot pink. Or do I want to do light blue? Do I want hot pink or light blue? I want hot pink. So we'll just trim that up. And now that I pretty much know what's going on there. So now I'm going to take a look at the overall look of things and see if I want to move a few things into different locations. If they're too close to a similar color, too close to each other. And I'm really glad that I did put that one in the middle, because it's actually worked out to the right number of doubles. Now see, those are too close for me. All right, so let's look at what we have in front of us. I like the spread of that. That's fine. That's fine. Where are we getting too close on things? So what if no, can't do that. I could switch them. That might pull them further apart. But then that will put the purples too close together. This is the part that takes time, is just figuring out where you want them to lay out. That's fine. That's over there. Wonder if I switch those out, that might make me feel better. Because the pink is quite vibrant. All right, and now I'm just playing with this idea. What if I balancing these two pieces? They're a little close together. Okay, so, but then there's two purples together. Do I care if there's two different purples together? I don't know. Now these two are too close together. See, this is what happens. You start to move things around and then it's hard to find a place for things. Isn't that strange? Can't put that there, it's too close. Dilemmas, dilemmas. Okay, so you know what? I think I'm going to put that pink there and this blue there. That's a little better. We're going to go with that. All right, so now it's gluing down time. So my plan is to kind of pile them up at the end here. So I'm pulling from the piles to glue them. Not very clean piles. All right. Some may need a tiny bit of trimming. All right, let's see how we do here. If I butt that right up to the edge, that should work. So our first piece looks like it will work fine. So I am going to put him right against all those edges. There we go. Our first piece is down. Then our second piece goes underneath. I want to make sure that it makes sense in terms of how the leaves are going on this one. Whoops, I'll do one row and then I'll take it off screen. There we go. And I hope that was the right one that was there. And this is lighter paper, so I need to hang on to it differently. Oops. All right. Just make sure that's going to cover properly. This one's a little bit big. Yeah, I have to trim this down just a smidge. So as you're going, if you need to do that, take the time, because otherwise you'll end up getting too, it'll all end up too thick. All right, and that should work lovely now. Yes. Okay. All right, there we go. Now we have our first row. So I'm just going to pull the first one off of each pile to do the second row, making sure that they're going to fit prior to putting them on, so that we don't end up with too bulky edges. And I will return. Okay, we are back and we are almost done. We just have this little piece at the bottom. I have these blue squares. I don't like the light color at the bottom because we've got the dark color at the top. I'm going to use the dark back. Now, I'm going to cut this a piece at a time because I want to make sure it fits in and finishes off. And of course, because I know this strip from previous memory is not exactly square, I'm going to do it I'm going to measure each individual one and cut slightly larger so that I have enough, but not too much, because I need to make sure I have enough of the blue to go across the entire bottom. So when I measure this, it is just under 3/4 of an inch. So I am going to do 14/16, which is the same as saying okay, I am just going to do 3/4 of an inch because I think that will do it on this first one. So 3/4 of an inch is right there. And I should have held it a little better. There we go. Now I'm going to dry fit that in, make sure it fits. Yeah, okay, that will be good. And then we have 3/4 of an inch here. Actually, I'm going to do both sides because I may need a smaller piece in the middle. This is exactly 3/4 of an inch, so I'm going to do slightly over 3/4 of an inch. And we'll do it down here. Okay, make sure that that fits in nicely. And this isn't going to be quite one full piece. Okay, again. Three-quarters should be okay for this one. All right, and then I just have a small piece, and this is too big. Yeah, or too small. And I think 3/4 will be enough for that. So we'll take 3/4 of an inch. Do it closer to me so I can control the cut. There we go. That'll go back in my stash. And I'm going to glue everything down, and then I'm going to measure that spot. So let's get it all glued down first. So gluing the corners. Oh, I put a little too much. And a swivel all the way down. Just going to pull those in from the corner because I think I'm going to have too much on them. And that fits beautifully right in there. Okay. Get the glue off my finger. And we're going to do the other side. Now I know this is too big by about 1/8 of an inch, so I'm going to put my dot a little bit in from the 1/8 of an inch spot so I don't have glue run over. Stick that right in there, put that right up against the bottom line. There we go. Perfect. And this one should be right on. Don't know why the measurement's a little wider at the one end, but I always find it is an issue when I'm finishing things. Okay, now we can measure this. Okay, so I'm just going to, that'll be the top. So I'm going to be cutting on the inside of my pen line, and this will be the bottom. Cutting on the inside of my pen line. All right. And hopefully that will squeeze in nicely. Oh, and look at that. Perfect. There we go. Oops, got it the wrong way around. How can I tell? Because it doesn't fit in perfectly like it did. There we go. All right, now I'm just going to trim that edge off. Not much to trim. I'm going to have to do it a little bit out of camera so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. All right, and it is finished. So now the idea is to choose a color to put October across the top. And to choose that, I've decided it's either going to be black or white, because that is the actual colors I am going to use. Let's see what I'm doing here. So this can be black or white. I have nice big white letters, or big sparkly letters, which might be fun. And then in black, I have these big texty letters. Then I have plain black. A few more options in black than I do in Then I have these nice big rounded letters. I don't know if I have every letter I need in that one. No, that's the thing. Oh, but look, I have two of them. That was a smart purchase. Okay, so let's first decide if we want to do black or white. So we're going to get our title helper here. And remembering that we want to read the advertisement on here so that we know that it's on the right side. Just going to lift that up out of the way. I'm going to start with black and white and see what happens. I'm going to put an O from each of these and see which color I like. And then from the color, we will decide which alphabet to use. Okay, there's an O. This one has an O as well. Okay, why can't I open that up? This has never been opened before. And I got it at a garage sale. Scrapbooking garage sale. They're a great place to get them. Okay, I'm just going to put it further away so that we can take a look at what stands out better. The white, let me take the color or the light off there. Do we want October in white or do we want it in black? White or black? I'm thinking the black stands out better because there's a little too much white in the background here. So, and I actually kind of like those letters, so I may see if we have enough of those ones without worrying about any other letter. I'm going to put this back. Whoops. Don't want to lose the period. And there's the O back there. So white is not an option. Let's see if we have enough letters here. O, C, T. We have another O here. O, B, E, R. Yep. We have enough letters. And we can actually make that Q, which I never use, into an O. So I'm going to do that. And try not to dip into this other set yet. All right, so again, let's put this up there out of the way. Put our light on so we can see what we're doing, and we're going to get our letters aligned first. It's nice to have a non-sticky surface behind your lettering, so you can just pull it off when you've got it all aligned. Now, I could have done this very differently. I could have done this as a Halloween page. I could have done it as a lot of fall page, but I've done that so many times. I wanted something different. I'm going to cut my Q very carefully. Hopefully that will be good enough. That's good enough. Grab my B. Make sure those are all down nicely. My E. And my R. Now I'm going to look at my spacing. I like the spacing between these. This is a little shy, so I'm going to adjust that a bit. A little more. There we go. Just a little more on this one. So I'm liking the spacing between the letters here. This might be a bit tight. Now that's a little too open. There we go. So we're looking good here. The T can actually move in a bit tighter because the space here is larger anyway. The C, we're going to kind of move a bit closer as well. And this O. So my spacing on this side is a bit tighter, but it's because of the letters. And I even want to tighten that up more. Don't want them to quite touch, but I want it to kind of go with the flow. So let me go in here. That's about as close as I can get with that one, and my O is going to go much tighter. There we go. That C is really big. I may play with that. Because it's foam, I can make it a little bit of a different shape. See? And now that feels a little less open to me. There we go. I'm happy with that. But I have to remember when I'm putting that C down, I have to lay it down so that it appears more crunched up. All right. Let's move these all out of the way. And I think I'm going to center it right across from left to right. So about there. And am I liking, excuse me, right there. Oops. Pardon me. Okay, so I'm liking the O. I'm going to stick you down. I have to play with the C a little so it becomes more rounded. All right, the T is fine. Everybody else looks good. All right, and the trick is, if this is too big for your hand, you're going to find a ruler. Just place the ruler on the tops of the letters and then pop your letters out underneath that. All right. Usually most of the things I do are within my hand space, but you want to have pressure down on the tops so that you can kind of snap them up and so they come off the ruler. I like it. Beautiful. Okay, so then the last thing is, this is very busy. I don't think I'm actually going to add anything to here because it is quite busy. So I think I'm just going to add my numbers, and October starts on a Sunday this year. So the reason why I have black and white, and I'm using a 0.8 in both black and white, which is a little bit thicker than what I normally use. And the reason I've got them both is because some of our pieces are quite dark, and it's nicer to have a bright white versus a black. So I'm going to start off with my black on the light things. So I can put a 1 here in the corner. Okay. Going to skip that for a minute, skip that for a minute, and so that's 2, 3, and this would be number 4. This would be number 5. Not sure about that. 6, 7, 8. I can put 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got to make sure I got the right numbers there. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm going to put a different color on that altogether. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and that's it. Okay, so this is 31. And I'm going to do a double halo on that one because it's Halloween. So I need to get some scrap paper and start my pen. There we go. So this is a 2 and a 3, 6 and a 7, 8 and a 9. This might need to be a black because I don't think this is showing up so well. 10. Again, this might need to be black. 11, 12, 13, yeah. 14, 16, 17, not sure about that. Oh no, this needs a black. 18, 21, 22, needs a black there. 23, oh, that's 25. If you're fast, you can rub it off. 25, there we go. 27, gonna leave that, so 7, 8, 9, and this is 30. And I'm just gonna put a little outline around the black with the white because it's a special day. There we go. I'm going to let that dry for a minute and go back in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I'm thinking this needs to be darker. So we're going to make that black. And I just go over what I did with the white. And this definitely needs to be black. This again. Two. This will be 20. Whoop. Need a scratch paper. There we go. 28. 29, 30, and I'm just going to highlight the black on this again. 31. All right. Is that showing? That's okay. I think most of the numbers you can see now. Maybe I'll change this one because it's just a bit light. There we go. All right. So now I'm going to put gold letters on that one. I have a gold pen here. Just going to charge it up. There we go. And make sure it's not too charged. No, that's going to be way too thick. Alrighty. I'm going to do purple. 18. Uh-oh. What happened here? 17, 18. I messed up all my numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 18. That should be 19. Okay, thank goodness I didn't go too far in the messing up. So I am just going to play a little game of cover-up. And nobody's going to even know. There we go. That was lucky. And this, I'm going to highlight with black. So it stands out. There we go. All right, just playing around. And there you have it, our October page. Fun and funky, lots of action going on, but something a little different. And I'm very thrilled with how this turned out. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please feel free to share with your friends. And don't forget to like and subscribe below the video in YouTube. And we'll see you again next week. Thank you. Bye.